Okay. We went over bar graphs. You understand that. We did, yesterday we spent more time on learning how to do the circle. Okay, so we talked about the first thing you do is you take all the information and you add it up to get your total, right? Second, you find the percent. And Tanner, if you can multitask by cleaning out and listen, will be a good review. Okay. So to find the percent of something, you take whatever, like cats, whatever the value is of cats, divide it by the total of all the values, and then move the decimal and turn it to a percent. And to find the degrees, you take the percent that you had originally found, multiply it by 360, and that gives you the degrees. And then I gave you each an orange circle, and you use the protractor to determine the size of each piece of the pie. You label each one, and you put the percent value in each thing. Okie dokie? All right. So yesterday we started on examples on page 415. So if your book isn't on page 415, please turn it to that. We did, 415. We did 6 through 10 even already, and that was fairly simple with y'all. Y'all are like, oh yeah, you just read the graph and answer questions. And Atalia did the bar graph for 14, and we talked about how it's great because they actually give you the increments. They tell you exactly what you need to do. Okay, so now, so look at 15 and 16. We're not going to do those because you know how to do a bar graph. But again, they say, like in 15, they say use increments of 2. That means you're going to go 0, 2, 4, 6, and so on. 16, number 16, they say use increments of 10. So you'd go 0, 10, 20, 30, so on. Okay, that's what increments are. That's your scale. All right, turn the page. Let's look at 18. We're on page 416, so we're going to do number 18 together. Okay, this time it says make a line graph using the data. And again, they say use increments of 5. And it says with the origin at 0, 30. Do y'all see that for number 18? Joseph, it would help if your book was open, dear. So number 18, they say make a line graph with increments of 5. That means your scale is like by 5s, but the origin is 0 and 30. And there's your information. Attendance by games, home game numbers, and attendance. Now notice something else. In the graph, do you notice that they have an X and a Y? Look at number 18 and notice they have home game X and attendance Y. Let me show you what that means. This, the 7th grade, this is actually, the pre-algebra book, which is actually the 8th grade book, actually is better, in my opinion, than the 7th grade book. Because they give you exact details. So the first thing you do is draw your vertical and horizontal line. Now, one of the things at the top, and I hope you are paying attention, one of the things it says is the origin is at 0 and 30. That means right here, the origin is right here. It's right here. And so they say 0 and 30, so we're starting at 30. Okay? And they want to go by 5s. So I'll have 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60, 65, and I think that's the highest we go. Huh? Okay, I'll go to 72. All right. Now, if you notice, it says home game X. So let me ask you, pre-algebra students, which is the x-axis? The horizontal one or the vertical one? That's right. This would be your x-axis. So down here, they're telling you put the home game down here. Attendance, it says, is y. This is your y-axis. So if this is x and this is y, then attendance is going to be right there. So home game X is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I'm going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Do y'all understand what I'm doing here? Does everyone understand why I chose home game down here?
Because that's the 10.
Yeah, and because if you look in the book, it literally says right there, it says X. Home game is going to be on the X axis and attendance will be on the Y axis. Okay, so for number 1, Joseph, what value is the first home game? So I'm going to put a dot on 45. Kelly, for home game 2, what is it?
38.
Okay, so it's going to be between 35 and 40. So I'm going to put a dot like right there. Italia, home game 3. Huh? Very good. So we put a dot there and so on. Then 4 is 55. And then 5 is 60. Okay, so then you connect the dots. And you can use a straight edge if you want. That's all there is to it. Not too bad, right? Yep. Yes, ma'am. Yeah, and she'll let you. Y'all have this down? Okay. Now, question, and I need all 3 of you to answer me honestly. We went over in great detail how to do a circle graph, right? Add up the total, first find the percentage, and I showed you how to do that, and then, whoops, you have to go back and find the degrees, and then you do the circle thing. Do you need another example? Do you want another example? Okay, that's fine. So let's look at number 24. Now, 24, it says calculate the number of degrees for each slice of a pie chart for the following data. So they don't even tell you to make the circle thing. All they want you to do is, it says, find the number of degrees. So you need to read the directions. So all the directions say is find the number of degrees for each thing. So 24, grade distribution, A's. Kelly, what's the percent of, look again.
Wait, grade distribution is 20%.
20. Okay, so they give you the percent. They want you to find the degrees. So Kelly, how do I find the degrees?
Okay, so first you have to add all.
No, to find the degrees. No, look back at your notes. Good call, Joseph, doing this. How do we find the degrees?
By dividing by 20 divided by 100.
Nope. Look in your note. I'm going to let her find it. Look in your notes to where we did the pie chart and we found degrees.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
That's okay.
I changed it to decimal, and so the decimal goes to, I'm still off.
Okay, so we changed it to decimal, and then what do we do? Look in your notes.
And then you times it by 360.
360. You have a calculator?
I do not bring mine.
Okay, so Joseph, what do you get?
I can do it.
You prepare for your test.
72.
72 degrees. So there's one answer. And then B's are 25%. So Joseph, how do I find the degree for B's? And then what? And what do you get? Good. C's are 40%. I tell you, what do I do? Good. Do you have your calculator? Okay, Joseph? They'll be doing it by hand. Good. D's is 10%. Change that to a decimal. And for the sake of time, I'll just give you all the answer. It is 36%. Or, no, wait, 36 degrees. F's, 5%. That would be 0.05 times 360. And for the sake of time, that'd be 18 degrees. Okay, so there's your answer for 24. That's all they asked for. That's all they asked for. Any questions there? Do we know how to find degrees? Yes. Okay, so Kelly, what you were doing when you kept saying divide by the total, you were finding percent. No, that's okay. You got to know how to do that. So to find percent, it would have been, Well, if they gave you that information, yeah. Okay? You would add it all, and then you would divide by that, okay? All right, last one we'll do, and I'll set you free, 28. 28 says, make a pie chart from the data in exercise 24. So we're going to make a pie chart based on the degrees here. So take out your circle. I have circles here.
I'm so sorry.
What? You need another page? Yep, it's to help with the protractor. And then, remember, like I take it to the inside here to find the middle mark. So you draw your circle, and then the inside of the protractor kind of line up at the top. And then get my center. Do you see how I did that, Joseph? It doesn't have to be exact. And today I'm going to start with my first radius going sideways instead of to the top. It doesn't matter. So I'm gonna do 72 degrees first. So I'll line it up, start at the 0 and the 10, and find 72. 72 is, there's 70, 1, and 2. So it's about right here. Again, it doesn't have to be perfect. So you write, remember, and you write A's and the percent. So this would be 20%. You don't write the degrees.
No, I know why you wrote the percent.
Yeah, the percent and the label goes in here. You use the degrees to find how big it is, but you write percent and that. And that's what they gave us in that. Okay, so next one's 90. So this would be B's and 25%. And then 144. That's gonna be fun. Start here. 30, 40, right about here. So that's C's, and that was 40%. And then I have 36%. It's about right there. Those are your D's. It's 10%. And the last one you'll even have to measure. Those are your F's, and that's 5%. Okay, so I'll let y'all finish that. So use your protractor to help you kind of guesstimate. And by the way, when I'm grading your stuff, I have all the pictures in my book. So all I have to do is look at yours to tell if you did it right. I don't have the time to sit there and measure every single one. Oh, no. This was supposed to be, this was supposed to be 18. It looks more like 20. No, I'm not going to do that. I don't have the time. But if like this one is really small, then you've done something wrong. So, I mean, if it's not perfect, it's okay. It's just got to be appropriately sized. Any questions on this before I set you free? None? Raise your hand and say, I have a question. Yes? You did yesterday? Okay, so you draw radius first, right? I drew this first. So I did A's first. It's 72 degrees. So I put it right here. The dot here on that spot. Lined up the line on your protractor with that radius. And then you start here. So you start always at 0. And I'm looking for 72. So 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. Oh, there's 70. And then you're like, oh, well, that's 75. So 72 is right about there. Put a little, mark there. And then connect from here to there. And then like 90 was the other one. So then I start right here. Put it on the dot. Line the radius up with that line. And then I start again on the 0. 10, 20, oh, look, there's 90. I put a little dot there. And then connect it. Okay. So, Joseph, do you understand? Kelly, do you understand? Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and set y'all free so y'all can get started. You can get started with the test. Yes, ma'am? Yeah.
That's it. So on the radius, like where you put the first line.
Yeah.
Can that be anywhere?
It can be anywhere. That's a good question.
Is that the first one?
Okay. So you're gonna do 7. Let's see. 1, 2. $19 odd. 23 to 27 odd. That's 10 problems. Due Monday after spring break. 10 problems. Okay, 10 problems. I think you can handle it. I'm going to freeze that right there. I'll put it down here, Taya, so you can continue doing the circle. All right. I'm going to stop this.